Buki. I'm one of the sewing instructors at Western Sewing Repair Hub. Welcome to the virtual class. So today we're going to be making a cookie bowl cover, or just a kitchen bowl cover. So instead of using your foil or aluminum cover, you can just use a fabric reusable cover to cover your bowls. For example, this kind of bowl, it doesn't come with a cover. So in order to not use one-time use foil or what do they call this, plastic wrap, you can just use a fabric reusable cover for this. And to make this, we're gonna need the fabric, and then you need your tape measure, you need the bowl itself because we need the measurement of the bowl, and then this is optional. If you want to have lace on the rim of the cover, you can have it, but if you don't want to have a lace, it's also fine. You can make your bowl cover without a lace, but I'm going to use a lace today, and I'm going to teach you how to use a lace. And also you need the fabric and elastic. This is actually really important. Okay, so to get started, I'm not going to be giving you any measurement today, because whatever measurement you want to use is going to be determined by your bowl. So if I have a bigger bowl, definitely I'm going to use a bigger measurement, and if I have a smaller bowl, I'm definitely going to use a smaller measurement. So there is no particular measurement for today's class. It's just going to depend on whatever kind of bowl you have. So today I'm using this kind of bowl, and the first thing you're going to do is place the bowl on your fabric. Make sure you place it on the inside of your fabric. Don't place it on the outside of your fabric. So just place the bowl on your fabric and use a tailor's chalk or a pencil to just trace out the rim of the bowl, the top of the bowl. Just trace it out. So once you do that, you have a perfect circle right there. And then the next thing you're going to do is use your tape measure to measure 2 inches on the sides of the circle that you have. So make sure that whatever measurement you're using after your bowl measurement is not less than 2 inches. It has to be more than 2 inches all the time. So it depends on how far you want it to come from the side of your bowl. So if you want it to go all the way down, you can add more, but I would suggest not to use less than 2 inches. 2 inches is like the perfect measurement. So just measure 2 inches on the side, on all the sides, all the way around, and then you join the measurements. Maybe one more. So the closer your measurements, the easier it is for you to join it. So basically just use your free hand to join the 2 inches together, and that's where you're gonna cut. So when you're doing this, make sure that your fabric is big enough to accommodate your measurement. Yeah, so this is what I have. I have 2 circles on my fabric, and then I'm gonna cut all around this circle. So I'm just using this as an illustration because I have already cut fabric right here that I'm gonna be using today. So I need 2 pieces of the circle. That is the 2 inches with the 2 inches measurements that you had it. So I need 2 pieces. I have 2 pattern fabric right here. If you want to use a plain fabric, that's fine. If you want to use one pattern, one plain, that's fine. This cookie bowl cover, you're going to be able to use either side of your project. So you can use any side. You can use this side or this side. That's why I have 2 pattern fabrics. But if you don't have a pattern fabric, if you want to use a plain fabric, that's perfectly fine. So now the next thing we're going to do is, once you have your circle all cut out already, Once you have the circle all cut out already, you should put the two pattern sides together. So I have this outside and this outside. I'm going to put the two together. So right now at this stage, if you don't want to use this, if you don't want to use the lace, all you need to do is stitch all around your circle. But if you want to use the lace, I would advise that you put the lace first on any of the circle, on any of your fabric. You can put on this, you can put on this, it depends on you. So just pick one and put the lace all around it first. That way it's going to be easier for you to do your stitches. So I'm going to put the lace because I want to use the lace. I feel like it's better with the lace. I'm going to put the lace first on this one. Like I said, you can put on any piece of your fabric. So I'm going to put on this one and I'm going to stitch it all around before I continue. So just let me do that very quickly. And I'm stitching it on the outside of my fabric, not on the inside. This is the inside of my fabric, this is the outside. So I'm stitching the lace on the outside of my fabric.
So just carefully stitch it all around.
And when you're placing your lace, make sure it's very, very close to the edge of the the lace right on the rim of my circle. I'm just gonna cut this out and put this aside. So I'm done with the lace. I'm gonna cut out the excess thread on the side. And now this is what I have. I stitched the lace very, very close to the edge of my piece. So now at this stage, the next thing I'm gonna do is just put the second piece right on top of the first piece. So I'm gonna make sure that my pattern side, the outside of my fabric, is facing the outside of the second piece. Now you can choose to pin or you can just go for it. It depends on you. If you want to pin, that's fine, and if you just want to go for it and just stitch it all the way through, that's fine. So when you're stitching, all you're gonna do is just leave a little bit of space for you to turn this project right side out. So I'm just gonna leave like 1.5 inch of space on the side. Say let's say this. So like this space, tiny space like this is enough. From here to here, I'm not gonna stitch that side. I'm gonna leave that side open, and then I'm gonna stitch the other side all around it. So like I said, if you want to pin, that's fine. If you don't want to pin, it's all up to you. I'm just gonna place this together and stitch it all together. So if you're using a lace, just make sure that you're not stitching it wrongly. You're stitching it right. Yep. So we start and go all around. It's not so easy to stitch a circle. Sometimes you move around so much and you get confused. Done, and I'm gonna leave a little bit of space. Okay, so here we are. So once you finish stitching all around it, you have to confirm to make sure that you stitch it properly. You stitch everything in So you have to just check all around before you turn the project right side out. So if you're comfortable with what you have, now it's time to turn the project right side out. So just stick your hand in and go for it. Just turn the right side out. Yeah. So let's iron this first before we continue. I'm gonna bring the iron right to the front, and we can press this so it can be flat, and then we can continue. So when you're pressing, make sure your iron is not too hot because you might actually just burn the lace. So in order to not burn the lace, make sure the iron is not too hot. Okay. If you don't have a lace, lucky you. That works better. You don't have to worry about burning it. Okay. This is fine. So I'm gonna put this aside. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stitch just a circle all around this, about ½ inch circle from the edge of this project. I'm gonna stitch about ½ inch and go all around this and make it a closed circle. Unlike the first one that I did, that I left a little bit of opening right here to just to turn the project right side out. Now it's right side out. I don't need to leave any kind of opening anymore. I'm just going to stitch all around it and close the circle, and that's where I'm going to insert my elastic band. So now just about ½ inch is enough because I am using a ¼ inch elastic band, so I'm leaving ½ inch space just to stitch all around it. So it depends on the kind of elastic band you're using. I would suggest you use a ¼ inch elastic band because that's like the practical elastic band. But if you're using a smaller elastic band, you can choose to leave a smaller space or just about the same space also. It works just fine.
So here, I'm just going to stitch all around, using about ½ inch to put my elastic.
Done. I'm gonna cut out excess thread that I have on both sides. Yeah. So remember, I still have my opening. I've not closed it yet, and this is where I'm going to insert my elastic band. I still have my opening right here. Yeah, I have a pin. Thank God. Okay, so my elastic band is 15 inches long. So this is how you get the measurement of the elastic band. Just take your bowl and turn it upside down and then take the measurement. Whatever measurement you have, you want the elastic to be tight all around the bowl, right? So you have to reduce whatever measurement you have. So on this one, I have 19 inches and my elastic band is 15 inches because it stretches, and when I put it over the bowl, it's going to come together. It's going to be very tight. That's why I made it 15 inches. Make sure it's not too small, but at the same time, don't make it exact measurement of the bowl. So I'm going to put the pin, my safety pin, right into the elastic and just slip it into my opening right here. While I'm doing that, I want to make sure that this doesn't go right inside, so I'm going to pin this to my table, to my ironing table, just to make sure it doesn't go in, because if it does, I have to pull it out and do it all over again. So I'm just going to pin. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm just pinning it right to the table, so that is going to hold it in place for me. So I'm going to go all the way around this. All the way around. Okay, so it's out on the other side. I can take out this pin now and take this out. So I'm going to stitch this together this way and then make it go inside. So I'm just going to place this under my foot, under the machine foot, and stitch it together. So right now what you're just going to do is just make a couple of back stitches on the elastic band. We just want to secure the elastic band so it doesn't just come off. So all you need to do is just make a couple of back stitches and then you're done. That is really quick. And then just pull this and you're pretty much done. All we need to do now is to close the small opening that I have, that I left right here to insert the elastic band and turn the project right side out. So we're pretty much done. So this project, you can use this side or you can use this side. So now at this stage we can decide to test our bowl cover. So this is it. If your measurement is right, it should be just about right. Yep. Yay. It's good. So it looks really nice with the lace. That's why I like using the lace. Without the lace, I think it's gonna look pretty good, but I think it looks better with the lace. So let's turn it the other way and then use it. You can actually use one bowl cover so many times and everybody's gonna think, oh, you have so many bowl covers. So it's like, yeah, just one. Okay, so this is the other side, which I think looks pretty good also. So now that I know it's fine, it's okay, I'm just gonna close the little opening that I have on this side. Basically just fold this in and stitch it down. I want to make sure that I'm not stitching on the elastic band, so I try to tuck that in first and then I fold this in and stitch. On the bowl cover, it's not going to show, the stitch is not going to show, so you don't have to worry about the stitch. So we're done. We're done. Yep. Trim off all the excess thread to make your project neat. And we're done. So instead of using the foil, the one-time use foil and the plastic film, this very thin plastic film that you use one time and throw in the garbage and then it ends up in landfill, you can just use this, wash, and then use it again and again and again and again, as many times as possible, as many times as you want. And the good thing is you can use both sides. You can turn it this side and turn it this side, so it makes it more fun. And if you use a nice colorful fabric, you're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be really nice. And another thing you can do, I know we did a class on how to make fabric flowers and all that. You can add some fabric flowers on this and just make it look really nice. And you can give this as a gift. You can present this to somebody if you're going on a picnic. This is really nice for you to just, you know, fancy, whatever. Anyway, so ditch all those one-time use foil and film and plastic wraps and all that, and just use this instead. So thank you guys for watching, and stay safe out there, guys. Bye.